All right, guys, welcome to another episode of On the King's Dime. We're plus 1 day from game time. It's the 12th, Monday, and we've finally broken the Hoodoo in Adelaide. Good to see the boys get a very good win and some great individual performances in the Sydney Kings lineup, with Brad Newley hitting the 3-ball very, very well.
Yep.
Adelaide were pretty junk, to be completely honest with you, except for Harry Froling.
Yes.
He was crazy good on the night and had some very effective bench minutes, but that young kid is got talent written all over him, which is great to see the young guys coming through in the NBL and getting some minutes. Some washout from the game is that DeLeon was on the plane straight away afterwards.
Yeah.
He has been released like they should do with David Ware in Sydney. God, he's crap. Anyway.
That's harsh, man.
It's not harsh. It's just realistic. He just takes up valuable breath and minutes and doesn't set screens for anyone. So I just don't see what his point in the team is. Get Bowen in there with minutes or kick it even.
Well, he did cop that head injury too, so you might have your prayers answered if, you know, he's unable to play for any length of time. He came back into the game. I think he only played a few minutes, 13 all up. I think he was on the court for about 6 minutes, then played another 6 minutes after that. But it was all the Brad Newley show, really, in the end. He was donning the headband, the front rower style headband that he said prior to the game. Felt like he was playing for the Penrith Panthers because he was wearing the forwards headgear. And so apparently midweek he clashed with a development player in training and he had to have 5 stitches in his head. So knocked a little bit of sense into him, maybe.
Indeed.
And, you know, all of our 3 starters, our 3 main guys, Newley, Lish and Randall, all scoring 20 points. Bogut, he had 8 points as well. Off the bench, Adnam had 8, Kickett had 6, and then Dane Purnell with a nice little lefty hook.
I think, that was a good baby hook. It's nice to see him getting a bit of offensive action. It was also great to see that when Bogut got into foul trouble, hilarious, he posted on Twitter today, I can't actually, he said, I can't comment on the fouls, but here's the lineup, here's the fouls. You tell me. I mean, one of them was a clear block, like just all ball. And again, the officiating is been quite terrible. I mean, we can just say what it is.
Yeah, we're allowed to. We're fans. You know, we're lucky enough to be able to just sort of say it is. It's both ways. It's poor, man. Because even
some of the calls on Adelaide and then some of the calls on Sydney, it was just.
Even Wiley had some foul trouble, as well as DJ. I believe he had 4 fouls as well.
Yeah, DJ had some trouble. I think that's why Froling had so many minutes. But I mean, the guy was on such a roll, you wouldn't want to take him off.
Sorry, it was DeLeon who had the foul trouble, yeah. So, and some weird fouls. Even Bowen had like a couple of loose ball fouls out of note, like just nothing soft fouls, you know, causing him to come onto the court and then just come straight back off after 2 really soft fouls. So
yeah.
It's hard to take. I think Bogut, who's someone that has played years and years and years in the NBA, you know, is going to suffer the most. And I feel like David Ware is another one who will also suffer from the fact that he's coming into the NBL, which is a different kind of officiated league.
Yeah.
Has different rules.
It does have different rules, but I think if you play anywhere outside of the US, and I think the local Canadian league, it's FIBA rules. So it's kind of, it's the same as the NBL, but yeah, David Ware is a bit of the weak link in our lineup at the moment. I think, like, if he was a local player, I'd just be all for him, get him some minutes. But this is an import that's taking up an import spot and is not doing a lot. I think we're happy with what Bowen's doing and bringing to the game, even though I don't think they set enough plays for him and for his length as well. He should be rebounding a hell of a lot more for being, 6'9", in the power forward position. But it's a little bit disappointing that we didn't get to see Deng Deng again, and Tom Wilson had 12 seconds in total.
Yeah, I think he played right at the end in garbage time.
Yeah, a bit of garbage minutes. Adnam, always good, but struggled from 3 a bit.
He shot 2 from 3.
Sorry, it was more
from
of
the field. So he came out hot. He hit 2 from 2, and then I think he missed 2 from the field, like from 2. And then obviously I think he put up another one late, like a chuck, late clock chuck.
Yeah.
But he continues to come off the bench and continue with that spark that Randall gives in transition and gives, handling the ball. He's really good at creating plays. And
he's got some good handles. Does the old Adnam.
Yeah, and his IQ is really good and he's feisty. He gets into those cracks and really...
I see him getting pinched fairly soon for his own team. Like, I think he's almost at the point where he could probably run his own offense, maybe for like an Illawarra or a South Melbourne, who will be part of the league next year. He's from Melbourne originally as well. So
But
Adelaide.
Adelaide, they played awful. Like, Sobey was terrible.
Sobey is taking too much out of the Chris Goulding playbook and flopping around everywhere.
little bit, yeah. He was a couple of times. I think he ran just straight into Bogut off an alley-oop catch, which was pretty much just going straight out, and he ran into him and fouled him. That was a silly foul. And then I think in the second half, he ran into Adnam, threw his arms up, bought a cheap foul because of that. But all in all, like, he's their kind of main point forward scorer, basically. I think he's more of a two guard with Drimich, who, if he's playing the 4 or the 3, they're both kind of a bit of an undersized combo and a bit rash and a bit reckless. Drimich only had 2 points, whereas he played really well in the first 2 games.
I feel a bit rorted actually out of this, because this is the Adelaide that's been playing, except when they played Sydney for the first 2 games. Lowest 3-point shots made per game. I think it's at around about 3 in the league.
3 per game.
3 per game.
Yeah, because they only hit 3 of 15 in this game. 3 of 16.
Yeah, so I think it's about 3.2 or something like that. So lowest shots in the league, lowest scoring. Obviously not a great win to loss ratio. We kind of got them on just a lucky night.
Yeah, that other game.
They were drilling that game in Adelaide. City played really well, but they were just, Taze hit 4 of 5.
4 of 4, I think it was, 100%. They shot 15 of 25, 60% last time. And I think we did our homework this time. We said, right, we're not going to let them get hot from the perimeter. I thought we defended the perimeter really a lot better.
We did.
Making sure to close out on shooters, making sure not to let De Leon get in the half court isolated on Randall with no help. Like, our help seemed to be like a lot closer in. Yeah. They weren't able to take advantage down low because of that. DJ didn't play too well. I think
I think they did their homework, and I think entered the Harry Froling. That they were leaving him alone at the top of the key. Yeah. And he was draining it. You can't really do much more. You've done your homework. He's a young guy. He's probably not going to take the shot. But he was just on fire.
Yeah, so he had 15 straight points in that second quarter, and they were down 16 at that point, and he scored 10 in a row before we scored. So they went on a 10-0 run. I think we had a timeout, and it was basically they were running pick and like De Leon and Sobey were running pick and roll with Froling, and Randall was getting caught up, and he once he switches and Bogut stays at home, that's where he was just getting out to the line and shooting threes. And good on him, man. He played really well. Young guy, feisty.
I hope he gets picked up for Summer League. I'd like to see him in Summer League.
I think he's only 20 as well.
Next year, maybe even enter the draft. I think he's the kind of guy that if you could shoot the 3 ball, he's got some good post moves, defends quite well, and is quick across the court than the average big.
Yeah, so he had a great game for them, but apart from that, just, pretty poor across the board.
Yeah.
Wiley didn't play well. He's a kind of a hustle guy that had a lot of...
I wanted to see more deng on deng crime. There was just not enough deng on deng crime. Majok Den's only got 9 minutes, didn't get a lot of time. I think when you're Drimich is, not playing well, Wiley's hitting 3 from 10, you got to get you guys in like Majok Deng. These guys got to play more minutes. I don't see why it is that you would leave Wiley on. And Wiley was getting dominated by Bogut in the paint. Completely dominated.
I think 2 of his blocks were on Bogut, and then was another one that was called a foul that was just clean as a whistle.
It was clean as a whistle, yeah. I was like...
And but I feel like we played Wiley perfectly in this game, where we went back to the drawing board and said, right, we'll tighten up a perimeter defense, not let him get the space in behind, the 3-point line for the driving, short the pick and roll, the early pass in the pick and roll, which he dominated us pretty much in the other game. Yeah. Where in that sort of that elbow area, he was able to get the ball and just put it on the floor and try and just hammer us the entire time. we didn't let anyone do that. Newley was playing well in transition. Randall was playing well.
We played a lot tighter in the lanes for Sobey as well. I think when Sobey had the ball, he really couldn't ISO from anywhere. We just closed down the lane and he couldn't drive to the basket. But you know what? I say this day in, day out. Full court press doesn't win you games.
Oh, man. We had another inbound violation as well. Inbound violation.
It's just...
Four guys in the front court.
I know. It's just, it doesn't win you games. Stop doing it. Play basketball. I hate it. It just makes the game horrible. There's no flow of game. It's like, we press. Yeah, you're down 10. You're going to lose because that's the basketball karma lords coming back at you playing that shit. Horrible.
But yeah, we should talk about Brad Newley's career. Well, not career night, but career so far this season. His best night of the season. 26 points, 11 of 18 from the field, 7 of 11 from 2, and 4 of 7 from 3.
The crocodile shot was working.
Yeah, man.
And some good rebounds, some good assists, a couple of steals and a block. He had one of those nights where he was on fire. Good for an old bloke.
Yeah, man. And what was happening was Adelaide were trying to trying these crazy hard double schemes on Randall early. Like they double with the big, they double with Sobey, and then they double with Drimich. And we were just like, oh, okay, just 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass. Yep, someone's open. Put up a shot.
Yeah, a lot better ball movement, like kicking into the perimeter and having 3 guys pass it around and not take the early shot, but wait till they ran out. And then that's right. Newley would be like the third guy down the line saying, thank you, I'll take that.
Yeah, and Lish as well, like escaping out to the corner, easily just wide open after shoot. Like they'd hard trap Randall, and you could see maybe in the first and second game they were getting some purchase with that, so they thought, we'll go to that again. But Randall's obviously done his homework this time and go, okay, I'm not just going to try and dribble down the screen or dribble back out to the nail and get trapped. I'm going to know what's coming and pass out of it. Yeah. And that was exactly what got us rolling.
Could Gaze have done some coaching?
Probably. Mate.
Phoenix!
He did call up one play, which I saw, which you and I were watching it live downstairs, and I can't remember what he called out. It was strong, and then a post up for Newley. Yeah, strong Newley post up, and he's like, Brad, look for Kev. And it turns out Kev just dribbles the ball up the floor, hits Newley. Randall cuts straight through, leaving Sobey rub screened on Bogut straight through, and Newley just went, oh, nice, straight to him under the bucket and laid it in. So it was kind of a play, but not really, but it was good, man. Like, it's
good to see maybe some gelling happening.
The game management aspect, like these guys aren't super high level players. Like they're not like super high level NBA players that can execute this high risk, high reward stuff. So you've got to kind of just go, okay, like they're not gonna like. Well, I think going to do everything that's perfect.
Your 3 there. I think Randall, Bogut, and potentially Lish can do that. I think that Lish, like if you look at the national coaching, like some of the Boomers plays that they can execute are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like they just, for a whole bunch of local league guys, they're ranked 7th in the world. And I think that's a bit of an understatement, really. That's without NBA players. They've easily gone through to the FIBA World Cup with maybe, Delhi and Thon playing 2 games, one of which they lost to a guy with cerebral palsy.
Physique. Every time I'm going to know exactly who you're talking about now. Fazekas.
Nick Fazekas.
And Rui Hachimura.
Oh, Rui Hachimura. He's a mad college baller.
He was awesome. He's going to be in the NBA for sure.
He's an athletic dude.
But I think the Brisbane coach is the Australia coach.
He is. And you know what? Brisbane have not got a great team, but somehow they're managing to pull out wins.
They're covering it up, yeah. So, I had them as like one of the worst teams.
He's a good coach, and that's why he's our national coach. Yeah. And it shows you what quality can do for a franchise, even though they lost this round. They lost both games this round. Oof.
Who was that, Brisbane?
Yeah, 3 and 1 point. They lost the Breakers by 1. And
somebody hit a game winner.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. I want to say McCarran, but it wasn't against
I don't think so.
Melbourne. It was...
Abercrombie.
Abercrombie, yeah. Close.
That's it. Abercrombie.
But obviously we shot well from 2 in this game, 23 of 50. I think we were getting to the rim a lot better.
There is a screaming baby in the background.
That's right. I'll see if the gate will gate that one out. Like your dogs downstairs. But they also shot better from 3, 12 of 24 from 3. So 50% from 3, 50% from 2. We're just getting to the line, getting to the basket really easy. A couple of nice backdoor cuts from Newley getting rewarded. It was one of those games where Bogut's passing is good and you get the rewards, like a lot of nice finds at the rim.
Yeah.
A lot of good early handling the ball out, sort of outside the 3-point line, resulting in good movement and good cutting and a guy wide open. Obviously, it doesn't always come off, which is, like when it looks bad, it looks bad. But when it looks good, you get a lot of high quality looks. So it was good to see. What
Bogut
else?
obviously dominating the boards again. But yeah, I think
Panau had 10 boards as well.
The good story of the night was Panau. I think he's played a lot better. As a little baby hook for 2.
Yep.
2 offensive boards, rebounded really well defensively, an assist. That's really good. From a guy that's not done a lot this year, he's obviously showing some progress. And if you can't score and you've got your pure scorers out there, just work hard on the boards.
Yeah. And I can't fault for all the times I'm sitting there watching the game just going, oh, Panau. Oh, he's lost his man again. Like, you still can't fault his effort. Like, his effort levels are high.
Yes.
Tries to work hard.
He hustles well.
And if at least you're engaged and working hard, you're going to get a reward if you play well, and it's going to elevate your game no matter what. Obviously, Bogut can't just grab boards all the time. And also, like on the last episode, we were talking about how these combinations of rebounding where someone grabs boards and someone boxes out. We did this a lot better in this game. Like, Kickett was acting as the anchor to try and...
But we got a couple of like really soft fouls on the box out as well.
Yeah, a couple. Bowen got a couple. But obviously, Kickett only had 1 board, but he was doing a lot more body work. Like, I think that's something we went away with and looked at and went, all right, we've got to actually put bodies on bodies because they were crashing the glass. Melbourne and even Adelaide in those first 2 games crashed the glass a lot, and they didn't do it as much this time. I think they only had second chance points, only 10 second chance points, 10 fast break points. We had 11. But all in all, I thought that was a really good comprehensive performance. It didn't feel anything out of the ordinary. Like, it felt like the same blueprint we're doing every game. We're coming out saying, right, we're going to put a stamp on the game early.
I think that what we did well in this game was a bit more physical. We hit our shots, but I think the guys got to their shot positions a lot early in the set, and it was a lot of Randall, who has the best handles probably in the comp, getting in and taking and collapsing 2 guys who are going to double team him and then dishing it. And then we've obviously got 3 perimeter shooters in Lish, Newley, and Kickett. One of them's going to take a shot, and 50% of the time we're knocking it down. Yeah. That'll win games every day of the week.
Yeah, pretty much. And the X's and O's things where, under the bucket, I thought we did a lot better trying to keep Adelaide off the glass, mainly defensively. Offensively, I think we have 10 offensive boards. It's not too bad. They had 11. So I guess, I think they had a sequence where they had 4 in a row.
Yeah, they got some. They were getting some lucky bounces.
Yeah,
they were getting. I don't think there was like hard, offensive boarding. It was just this ball is hit at a 90-degree wide angle, and Wiley happens to be standing like over here doing nothing. Oh, it's a rebound.
Yeah, like long shots lead to long rebounds.
Yeah.
And obviously, if we're trying to throw bodies under the hoop for rebounds, then obviously we're not going to get those rebounds that come out long. We had 22 assists on 35 made buckets. That's pretty good. That's pretty high level stuff.
High level
which
for
is
NBL.
important. Adnam had his 2 threes were nice in rhythm threes. The ball coming straight out to him, shooting in rhythm. He's another one where I kind of feel like if he's stepping up in rhythm, he's going to knock it down.
Yeah,
and he's wide open.
He's a good catch and shoot player.
But apart from that, it was another good performance. So what are we 4-3 now?
We're 4-3. We've got the Breakers on Sunday afternoon at 4:50. That's
4:50?
a home game. It's 4:50, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
They play Melbourne on the 16th.
5:20 p.m.
5:20, close.
Same
I was going to say that, but didn't want to show you up, mate.
That's all right.
I think we're 4-3, and I think that game made Adelaide 4 out of 5. Oh no, 5 out of 6 they'd lost.
Yes.
Like, that's crazy.
2-5.
Because they're probably a better team than that.
I think they're a better team than that. I just think that Sobey hasn't been. I mean, Sobey got a triple-double not long ago. Like, that's a big deal in the NBL to actually get 10 assists in a game. So they've obviously fallen apart. Delion's gone on. They're going to make a big announcement this week about a new import.
Yeah,
maybe Carmelo Anthony because he's about to get booted by Houston.
Man, how good would that be? That would be insane.
I don't think Carmelo's going to come down under, but it could be.
That would be pretty sick though.
Yeah, I think he might be off to Phoenix for a bit of extra tanking, but that's just
pipe dreams. That would be pretty cool. There's a few Euro guys. I wonder, the Euro season's kind of kicking now. Like it's too late to get some of those Euro guys back that are over there.
I think it's going to be like a G Leaguer or someone looking to pump and dump a draft pick off. So hopefully we see another decent import, decent name come down under and give a crack and get the Adelaide machine working well. But Breakers, let's look forward to the Breakers.
Yeah, what do you reckon? We beat them in New Zealand.
We beat them pretty well comprehensively in New Zealand.
Yeah,
I think what we got to do against the Breakers is box them out of the paint. I think they're quite a good paint team. They've got one or two outside shooters, but Bogut's just got to rim protect. And again, I think what we did really well in Adelaide is we collapsed the lane. And when you collapse the lane, you stop a lot of these guys run. And most of these guys do not have a mid-range game. It's either in at the paint, like in 9 feet, or we'll have a shot from outside.
Yeah.
And the Breakers aren't a team that's going to put up 20, 25 3-point shots on most nights of the week. So collapse the lane, force them to shoot from the outside and gather the rebounds.
Yeah.
And go to you guys like Randall and Lish to obviously drive and kick and score.
Yeah.
Because they're your main scoring avenues. And Randall's always good at getting to the basket at will when needed.
So I wonder, with Ware having that head injury, I wonder if they're going to assess him medically at all.
Yeah, just say, the head's not looking good for the rest of the season, buddy. On your bike.
Just teeing you up to just dish out some punishment.
Look, he doesn't, just watching Ware, it's not so much his on ball that's the problem, it's his off ball. He doesn't screen. He doesn't really get to a position early enough in the set. He doesn't screen. He doesn't hard screen. There's a lot of like moving and shuffling.
Yeah.
But he doesn't set a hard screen for Randall to run around and take the player out. That's why Randall gets double teamed. He's got to set that hard screen. That's something that Bogut does quite well. And Lish does quite well. But he doesn't really do that. He's not really knocking down shots. He's not rebounding at all. What's he doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he could be shooting better from the outside.
That's what he should be doing, but he's not doing that. So where do we get something from him? Where do we get some production out of him? Do we get some?
Yeah, I think
play 10 minutes until you start draining some shots. Get to your mark early in the set, and try and hit them. That's not working tonight. All right, we'll bring Bowen and kick it on, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like that's all. He's not a starter. Firstly, it's got to be blaringly obvious. I mean, Bowen has to start in front of him. Because I think a longer lineup, fitter guy, Bowen's got to be more aggressive. That's one thing he needs to be doing.
So then you're essentially playing Newley at the 4. So you're playing Bogut, Newley, Bowen, Lish, Randall.
Yep.
So I think probably down the end of the season we'll start doing that.
Yeah, because Kickett's good off the bench because he's a bit of an older guy. You're not going to give him 40 minutes a game. So he's good to come off the bench as a bit of an impact player with a second roster. And be able to drain the 3 ball. But the one thing Kicker does quite well is also post. He posts up quite well and can score in the low post very well.
We were going to him a little bit in the last couple of games. We didn't really go to him this game because we didn't really need to.
Didn't need to, but we were going to the last couple of games just to spark the offense with a few, post-up buckets.
Yeah, but I still think that Ware's got to work on his communication and that rebounding aspect because this game, showed that if you throw that extra body in with Bogut, then his rebounding becomes more effective. You stop guys driving to the rim and getting easy buckets. And if you're rebounding and quickly getting out in transition, like we're deadly in transition, like Randall and Lish, and even Newley, like finding Newley on the...
He just seems to just barge his way up the field.
Yeah, and that's going to be important going forward, and that's where Ware's kind of a bit of a
he doesn't
left,
really
right, out.
I mean, he could fit quite well into another franchise. I just don't think he fits really into this lineup. If he was that kind of Brokoff style player where you're going to be not really effective on the ball, you're not going to be really effective off the ball, but you're just going to sit in the corner and drain 50 threes at 50%. Hey, that's a place for you in this team. because we need a guy who can score 12 points every night in 12 minutes or 15 minutes, come down, knock 4 shots and get off.
Yeah, but you probably don't notice the X's and O's that some of these other players do when you've got a player like that, if you know what I mean. Like, I noticed that he doesn't screen properly and that, you know, we really want to be going to him with time in the post to back down once and shoot a fade rather than try and score. Like, he gets really good at using his body and like tossing up a contested type of shot, like a hook or barging, or like he travels a lot, man. Uncalled travels. Like,
hilarious.
There was about 4 of them in that.
That foot just keeps moving. I was like...
Yeah, there was one where he knocked Wiley over. Like, he took like 5 steps. He knocked Wiley over. It was a blatant offensive foul. I think
that's right. He got the shoulder in.
Yeah, he bricked the shot. And then they show the replay. He took like 6 steps and the ref's like right there looking right at it. I'm just going, oh man. Like,
you know what? I watched the Philly-Memphis game the other day and I saw I just paid attention to the travel. I saw at least 20 travels.
Yeah, there's heaps of them.
It's kind of like power walking in the Olympics.
Yeah. It's that shuffling of the feet that the refs don't pick up. But
it's
man,
just like,
how many
you're running or you're walking. Actually, they've actually proven with physics that the speed they walk at, it's impossible to not have both feet off the ground at the same time. So it's actually a completely false sport. But anyway, that's for another day. So Breakers, I think that's right. We've got to shoot the 3-ball whirl, box out, maybe get some Pinot in at the 4 for a couple of minutes with Bogut in. I think that'd be a really good body makeup, especially if you're getting dominated on the glass, just to kind of, get some minutes in where we're getting rebounds and we have like a fast moving transition with 2 big bodies in the center. So,
because we started well against them, I think it was the second round we played, or second or third round. We played them and we'd blown them out, didn't we? We ran 100 up on them and blew them out. But they're capable of scoring as well. So, I think we're going to have to be on our game again. It feels like this team always, like we said, always has that 10-point, giving up a 10-point lead in them. Yeah. And they almost did a little bit in this game too.
Almost did, but I think, some good ISO plays.
They stabilized. It was probably unsustainable with the way Froling was playing.
Well, they weren't getting any production from anyone else but Froling. Yeah. So, the game was always going to be lost. But if Soviet got hot, it would have been a much closer game. Cool.
Apart from that,
very good.
Hopefully we get another win. So we're 4-3, sitting third on the ladder. Melbourne 6-3, and then Perth 7-1, killing it.
Indeed. All right. Well, that's a wrap.
Yeah, I think it is.
We will be back next Monday directly after the game.
Yep.
With a further wrap. Remember, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on iTunes and any kind of RSS feed, so Podcast Addict or any Android podcast app. Find us on Facebook on the King's Dime.
Yep.
Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. We're going to be posting in the Sydney Kings group if you've made it this far, as we always do. Looking forward to Sunday. Might try and get out there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep. But with a 5-week-old screaming baby, that may be difficult.
Yeah. Shout out to the little man. He's probably
Shout out to the little man screaming.
On the podcast.
He's going to be on the podcast having a party in the background.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
See you guys.